baby, in this phase of my life, walking away, I do it for fun. Like, block, moving on, next. Okay guys, we are here for part 2 of 20 ways to respect yourself. In part 1, we covered numbers 1 through 10, and now in part 2, we're gonna cover numbers 11 through 20. So number 11, let's get right into it. Be an achiever and get busy with your goals. So to me, I interpret that as meaning whatever goals you set for yourself, whether it's short-term goals or long-term goals, just be an achiever and keep on pursuing those goals. And as you pursue them, you'll achieve them. So you can start off with maybe 5 goals for the week or 10 goals for the month. Little by little, the more that you set forth and make motion with those goals, the more and the faster you achieve those goals. Number 12. Respect your time. Honey, we've all heard of the saying, time is money, okay? Whether that be your time, somebody else's time, time needs to be respected, because the time that you could be spent on one thing could be costing you money. So whether that's being on time for an event, a gathering, going to a friend's house, that time could be allocated doing other things that you can actually use to make money or invest in, like, your goals like we spoke of. So if you have to be somewhere, be on time. If somebody is wasting your time, let them know that your time is precious and can't be wasted, because the time that I'm sitting here waiting for you or waiting for us to do what we said we were going to do, I could have been doing something else with this time. That could have been me moving forward with some of the goals that I had in mind. So keep that in mind. Respect your time. Number 13, don't stay in relationships where you don't feel respected and valued. Walk away. Baby, in this phase of my life, walking away, I do it for fun. Like, block, moving on, next. Like, it doesn't matter who it is. I'm not going to be in any relationship, friendship. I don't do situationships, but anything, partnership with anyone where I don't feel valued. I know my worth. I know my value. I know what I bring in all aspects, not just monetarily, but I know my value as a person. I know my integrity. I know my morals, and I know the values that I have, the high values that I have and that I possess, and the morals that I have and that I possess, you're not going to find in others. So if I'm not being respected, I'm going to walk away. And don't be afraid to walk away. That's another thing. I used to be so scared years ago to walk away. Like, no, I want to make this work. No. Like we spoke of in the other part, it has to be mutual. So if it's not mutual and you're not getting out of it what you're putting in, walk away. Don't do that to yourself. Number 14, learn to spend money on yourself, okay? That's how people will learn to spend money on you, and you. Baby, like in the other part, I'm not saying you have to go out and buy designer. If you like that, you can afford that, and that's like nothing for you, fine. If you're not able to do that, fine. But the point is, what you have, make it work. Whether that's consignment shops, thrifting, or buying luxury goods, or even just self-improvements like getting a gym membership or purchasing a new car. Whatever you are doing for yourself, people will see how you treat yourself. Like we spoke of in the other part, they'll act accordingly. If you treat yourself like a royal, they will treat you like a royal. If you spend money on yourself and you like, listen, there's no in my world for what I want, people gonna look at that and be like, okay, so she has a high esteem for herself. Like, she is not putting herself at the bottom. She's choosing herself and putting herself or himself first. And that's how I feel. Like, if I got it and I want it, I'm gonna spend it on me, period. I need to take care of myself. You have only one vessel, and the vessel that you have, you need to treat it well, fuel it with healthy foods, healthy environments, and happiness, okay? And certain things make people happy, like spending money, treating themselves well, going to nice restaurants, whatever that may be. Just put yourself as a priority and watch how other people get in line and act accordingly. Number 15, be scarce. How I'm taking that is be selective with what you indulge in, what you engage in, and how you present, like where you present yourself. So like, you don't have to be at every event. You don't have to be at every social gathering. Sometimes when you're not there, it gives like a mystery to you. Like you have an allure. Like they'll see you and then they don't. It's like those people that they pop in, you know, then they're life of the party, or like they have this great energy, but then you don't see them all the time. But then you look forward to seeing them again because you're just like on your toes. You're kept on your toes because you're not sure where they're going to be, or you're not sure when you're going to see them next. But when you do see them next, it's just like this grand entrance because it's like, wow, I haven't seen you in a while. It just like gives you like a boost of like euphoria for the people that haven't seen you in a while. So be scarce with how you show up in the world. Not saying don't show up in the world, but when you show up and show out. But don't be everywhere around everybody. No, baby, royalty don't move like that. Number 16, be a giver than a receiver. I'm on the fence with this because for me, I don't agree with that one. So for the first one out of all 20 so far, I don't agree with that one. I believe that it should be equal. It should be equal footing. Like if I'm gonna give to you, I want you to give to me, and then I'm gonna receive, you're gonna give, and then it flips the other way. I'm gonna give, you're gonna receive. Like it should be balanced, because if there's a relationship that feels like it's out of balance, whether it's a friendship or a relationship that's unbalanced, it's not gonna be good in the long term, whether it's, like I said, a friendship or a relationship, a partnership. Like if one person feels like they're doing more than the other, then one person's going to get burnt out eventually and not want to have any parts. So for me, I don't agree with that one. Take it how you want with that one, but for me, it has to be balanced all across the board, baby. So number 17, don't go where you're not invited. And when invited, don't overstay. I know we all heard of that saying, don't overstay your welcome. And honestly, don't ever show up to anybody's place, party, gathering uninvited. If you're not invited, in my opinion, that means that you weren't wanted there. And that's fine. That's okay. They didn't have to want you there. You can go somewhere else where you're wanted or where you were invited. And then when you go, like say if it was someone's having a house party and you found out through a third party and you just show up, they're going to look at you like, what are you doing here? You know, versus if you were invited, you go, have a great time, but just don't overdo it. Don't overstay. And that's just with anything in life. You don't want to do too much. Less is more, and that applies in all aspects, especially with that. Like if you go somewhere and you're invited, just stay, do your thing, and then leave. You just don't want to linger around, you know? So that was a number 17. Number 18, treat people exactly the way they deserve. I agree with that 100%. Treat people the way that they deserve, wholeheartedly. Like if a person is not treating you right, treat them the way they deserve by disappearing out of their life and no longer speaking to them, having contact with them, or anything. They're not worthy of your presence. They're not worthy of your presence. So if a person wants you in their life and they respect you and they value you, they're going to treat you as such. Relationships, friendships, partnerships shouldn't hurt. It shouldn't be painful. It shouldn't be this thing that have to have so much work to put in to make it work. And if a person values you deep down inside, you'll know it, you'll feel it. The relationship will reflect it. So that's my stance on that. I used to be somebody who used to want to insert myself so hard because I love so hard. You can still love hard, but love hard towards the people who deserve that love versus people who are misusing that love. So no longer will I be going in any space, any friendship, any relationship where I'm not valued and loved and treated the way I should be treated. And I think you should do the same. Number 19, accept that they owe you money. 2 call attempts is enough. If they value you, they will call you back. Okay, so you may have allowed someone to borrow money from you. I'm under this mind frame, like if a person borrows, they're really not going to pay you back, and just accept that you will not get your money back. So calling them, blowing their line up, trying to get them to hear you out and pay you back is just a waste of time. There are sometimes people, unfortunately, where you're going to be in situations where a person will swindle you, a person will come under the guise of being a friend, family member, whatever, lover, and they're just going to use you, and then they'll ghost you. So the best thing, in my opinion, to do is to try your hardest to avoid situations like that, and not say not borrow, or not to say that you should not lend money to people. Just be very cautious so you don't find yourself in a situation where it's like, hey, I gave like one of my closest friends X amount of dollars and it was a lot of money. Even if it was a little bit of money, it's still your money at the end of the day. And then next thing you know, you really need that money, but you lent it out hoping that you would get it back, and this person has ghosted you. So unfortunately, there are times where we can't avoid situations like this. But the only thing I can say is just use your discernment and be very cautious with lending money to people, because there's a good chance you won't get it back. And blowing their line, sadly, is not going to help. Like, a lot of times when people borrow money from people, they do disappear because they don't have good intentions. Not everybody. Some people will pay back, okay? But there are some people who are not going to pay you back. And if you're calling a person and they're avoiding your call, they're dodging you, there's a high chance that you lost that money. So be very cautious with that, my loves. Number 20. Oh my God. I feel like we're going through this one faster than the other video. And they're both equally 10. So I don't know. But number 20. Be good at what you do. Be the best. Yes. If you're going to do anything in life, put all of your efforts into it. Try your hardest to be amazing at everything you do and how you show up in the world, how you present up in the world. Just be good, be amazing, be spectacular. Don't short step, don't low effort yourself. Just be great. I know you're great. Of course you're great. So just show up as the greatness as you are. And I know we have those days where we're like sometimes not feeling our very best. We all go through those moments in life. But at the end of the day, your mindset literally can change your life. Even if physically things are not changing around you and you still feel like you're in the same position that you're trying to not be in mentally, the more you shift your mind around, the better life becomes. Because then when you shift your mind into more of a positive mindset and you're like, you know what, right now I'm showing up as the best as I can. I know my circumstances is not the best, but it has no choice but to get better at some point, because you're working, you're not giving up. And the more consistent you are, things are guaranteed to change. They're never going to be the same, because you're not the same, because you're making changes, small changes, big changes. The point is you're making changes. And as you are making those changes, things are flowing and they are moving, and they're only going to move and flow in the direction that your mind and your efforts are going towards. So be great, be bold, be amazing, be spectacular, show up in the world as the very best version of you. You guys, this was kind of short and sweet. I didn't want to make it too long, but I thank you so much for joining me. And thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Please share this video. Please comment below and let me know what you think. Let me know if the last top 10 or even the first top 10 from the first video, part 1, which I will link below. Let me know if any of it resonates with you. We are in 2024, my loves. I almost said 2020. We are in 2024, you guys. And we have no choice but to show up as greatness. And we can take so many things that we learn and apply it to our life to just be better. And I don't know if this video has touched you at all. I know it's touched me because I just want to show up in the world better. And I just want to share what I learned with you guys. And you can let me know if any of this resonates with you. Is any of it insightful to you? And out of the 20 that we have went over, does any like hit home for you, or are you going to implement any of the 20 in your life? Just show up as the best version of yourself, you guys. I love you, chosen fam, always. Take care, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.